Hey everyone! When we first started discussing the final project, the first idea that came to my mind was a colorful tapestry inspired by Don Quixote. I was inspired when reading Don Quixote because he lived life to the fullest. Although he was probably a little bit insane and his actions were absurd, I really liked how he took his life back from the mundane life he had been living and started living the life he always read about and that he dreamt of. I think the overall idea Cervantes was going for is a very serious and inspiring story. We all have the power to live our lives to the fullest, a life filled with magic, excitement, and adventure. So here's what I came up with. In the spirit of Don Quixote, I tried to incorporate as many creative shapes, colors, and textures as I could, without losing the overall vision in my tapestry. I wanted to showcase textures and styles which reminded me of Don Quixote's time period, but also tried to create something I personally would want on my wall or as a blanket. The front of this is obviously one of the most famous and noteworthy scenes, the start of the quest, when the two men, Sancho and Quixote, begin a journey out into the world. I tried to make this side look a bit abstract, with very large sun in the corner and smaller mountains and colors all around. My idea was that the abstract surroundings help visualize how Don Quixote saw the world around him. And then, of course, when we turn it around, we see the most famous scene depicted, the fight with the windmills. My intention for this side was to showcase the vision of all the chivalric novels Don Quixote would be inspired by. I intended for this to be that the windmill represents his imagination, obviously, and each book represents a piece of the puzzle which has influenced his creative thinking. In the spirit of Don Quixote and his creative mind, and also for the environment, I decided to use only recycled materials for my adaptation project. Quixote uses materials from all around his house for the armor he uses on his quest. So, similarly, I used some old pants and scarves as well as a thrifted tablecloth for the main material in my adaptation piece. I hope that my adaptation depicts how using our imagination can change everything around you. As I learned from this book, at some point or another, you will have to choose what life you are going to live. Will you continue down the road of the mundane or dance your way through life, using creativity as your guidance? Will you choose to see life for what it is or what it could be? Do you choose the giants or the windmills? I'd like to end off my presentation with a quote I've grown rather fond of over the last semester by Miguel de Cervantes. When life itself seems lunatic, who knows where madness lies? Perhaps to be too particular is madness. To surrender dreams, this may be madness. Too much sanity may be madness. And the maddest of all, to see life as it is, and not as it should be.